Hey, everybody. 5 years. We've been doing Brain Scratch Searchlight for 5 years this week. Hundreds of cases, so many families, so many donations made. I just wanted to take a moment to thank you for being a part of that and to talk to you guys a bit about what we do going forward from here. When I started Searchlight back in 2016, there was a need that I saw that I wanted to fill. It was that there was so many cases that weren't getting coverage. Smaller cases or cases about things that major media doesn't really like to speak about. And we focused on that and we worked really, really hard on it. But what was important back in 2016 and 2017 is much different than what we're looking at now in 2020 and 2021. There is coverage happening for just about every case that's coming across my desk now. And it's one of those things that has me wondering, does Searchlight have to be a weekly show anymore? It originally came out of Brain Scratch. It was originally Brain Scratch episodes that I noticed were about a particular topic, and we kind of broke that off. So at this point, what I'm going to do, and I've got a bunch of good reasons for doing this, which we'll get to, is I'm going to move Searchlight to Fridays and then alternate Searchlight with Brain Scratch on Fridays. Now, what that's going to allow me to do is deeper dives into both of those types of cases, basically more footwork ahead of me cutting the episode. We've got such a tight production time frame that we work with here. I've got really tight deadlines. And sometimes I'll be reaching out to people and they won't get back to me in those deadlines, and I can't include that information in the episode. And then we wind up doing these updates where, like, the next week there's a whole new case, but there's a little bit of a piece of an update from the previous case. I'd really like to try to pull all that together and make it work a bit more solid than it's been working over the past year. So this is going to allow me to do that. Essentially, this is going to widen out that production timeline. I'll be able to get in touch with more experts, more family, and work those into both Searchlight and Brain Scratch cases. I really think it's going to help both. On top of that, it's going to open up our schedule because we're going to keep Case Cracked happening every single Monday, but now on Wednesday, we've got a bit of an open spot. And for that, I want to try to address a big problem that I've been seeing. I really think it's the next step in terms of social media, true crime, and what we're doing in this space. And that's trying to make some inroads with the public information officers, with law enforcement, trying to do some projects that are helping their point of view as well. And I know that's going to be a bit of a dicey proposition. I can tell you guys, in 6 years of doing this type of content, the amount of times that law enforcement has reached out to me, practically nothing. Unless it was contact initiated by myself and then they called me back, it just never ever happens. So I want to try to do some things. We've been so focused in terms of the victims and the families over the past 5 and 6 years, really, that we've been doing this, that I also want to see, what about the messages that law enforcement's putting out? Is there a way for us to help them with things that they're actually asking for help on? And in doing that, can we analyze what types of cases they're asking for help on, which ones they aren't, and is there some way to figure out how to be more helpful on both of those fronts? That's really, it's a bit of an experiment in my mind. I really don't know what it's going to shape into. I've got some ideas for the start of that new show format. But where it's going to go from there, I'm really not quite sure yet. But basically, we got to do some house cleaning here. So I've got enough resources to really take that on and try to solve a problem that I've talked to numerous true crime creators about. We all agree there's a gap. I've got some new relationships that have kicked up that I think might be able to help with that. I want to really use those to try to develop this. To do all that, I need a little room. I need a little more space. So that's what we're doing. Starting next week, you'll get a new Searchlight today. You'll get a new Brain Scratch at the end of this week. But starting next week, we're going to change up the format a little bit. I will give you some form of a show on Wednesday. It might be something as simple as the Seriously Mysterious recording session, which is a live only show. If you don't catch it live, there's no rerun that's left on the channel. It might take me a couple weeks to get this new show format kind of off the ground, but That's where we're at. Just wanted to give you guys a quick update on the channel. You're going to see some changes that are coming up here over the next few weeks. Please bear with us. Know that these are things that will really be helping these cases in a bit of a different way. We did a great job coming out of 2016 and 2017 with this format. At this time, we've got to push things into the next steps because there's a bunch of other people that figured out that format and came along with us. And I'm happy to have them. There was far too many of these cases that didn't have coverage. Now, basically everything's getting covered fairly quickly. What's the next step? That's what I'm going to figure out. And I need your help to do that. So I hope you'll support us in this new effort. Things are going to change up a bit starting next week, but we're going to be working really hard on the back to try to help these families and law enforcement with these cases. Thanks so much, everyone. Take care, and I'll see you on the new episode of Searchlight that's on the channel, available right now.